What's going on, wrestling fans? I am Dr. Walls, and it is my honor to present to you our next event, coming to you live on October 17th at the Willow Point Hall in Campbell River. And I've got a special treat for you, and that is the double feature wrestling night for you. At 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock, we've got wrestling action coming your way. So, before I get into it, I wanted to address a couple of things right now. First and foremost, I wanted to talk about our referee, Tim Chiasson. In our last event, Tim accidentally hit Liza Hall with the Global Championship belt, thus costing her the match. And I've chatted with Tim, and I've had a lot of time to think about this, and I've decided that ultimately it was not Tim's fault. It was Travis Williams' fault. It was Travis Williams who brought in the belt to cheat. Tim was simply trying to do his job in removing the belt from the cheater, and an accident happened. I'm very sorry, Liza Hall, that this has happened to you, but I'm going to find a way to make this up to you, I promise. But for now, no action will be taken against Tim. Tim is a good referee, and he does his best week in and week out, and we appreciate him for it. On the other hand, we've got a wrestler named TJ. I'm still not quite sure what to make of TJ, but I must admit one thing. I was very unimpressed with his actions at the end of his match with Hvico. He simply would not release the submission hold after his match and kept pressing things home. He kept yelling at our audience members. So I've decided that as a punishment to leave him off the double feature card. TJ will not be wrestling. Now, he's not suspended, he's not banned, but he is left off this week's show. So then, let's get into the matches. At the 2 o'clock event card, we will have Hvico and EO Mike Bescher defending their tag team championships against Brett Matthews and Jordie Taylor. Now, I've had some people asking me, why would I do this? Why would I put two men, Brett Matthews and Jordie Taylor, two men who are definitely not friends, and put them in a team? Well, there is a method to my madness. First and foremost, I'm very impressed with the performance from both Jordie Taylor and Brett Matthews. Jordie Taylor, some of his actions recently have been kind of a little bit iffy, I'll say, but both of them have been very impressive lately. So, I've decided to give them both this deserved opportunity. And also, let's not forget that these two gentlemen do have, in fact, a history of tag teaming together. I do remember, if you will recall, a very impressive match between Brett Matthews and Jordie Taylor versus Eli Surge and Carlito, and their tag team ability was top-notch then. I'd love to see some of that magic return. Plus, even though that they are enemies at the moment, they do both have something in common, and that is their love of gold. So, will they be able to set their differences aside and work together once again, or will it falter? We'll just have to see. Also on the card for 2 o'clock, we have Cremator Von Slasher versus Nolan James and Zach Andrews. Now, some might think that this is an unfair advantage towards those who have been messing around with Cremator, but in this sense, in a handicap match, there will be no more surprises. Cremator Von Slasher will have an opportunity to get some revenge against the two men who have been mucking with him most in these last wrestling events. As mentioned earlier, I'm going to give Liza Hall the opportunity for some revenge, and thus, in the 2 o'clock show, it will also be Liza Hall versus the champion, Travis Williams. In our 7 o'clock show, we have Hvico versus Sharif. Now, I know that many of you don't know Sharif, but I've been keeping my eye on him. He's someone who I've been wanting to wrestle in this company for quite some time. I've been very impressed with Sharif, and I think Sharif versus Hvico is going to be an impressive contest indeed. Also on the card, we have Global Women's Champion Liza Hall versus Rhea Von Slasher. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I'm rather disappointed with the fact that Travis Williams cheated in his match against Liza Hall and even tried to throw our good referee Tim under the bus for it. So, who better than to have him defend his championship against other than Cremator Von Slasher? Enjoy, Travis. Also on the card, we have a fatal four-way match of BJ Laredo versus Judas Icarus versus Nolan James versus EO Mike Bescher. As I've done previously, I'll have my eye on each one of these competitors as potential contenders for the Global Championship in the future. As promised, our main event will feature Brett Matthews versus Jordy Taylor for the Grand Championship main event. Get your tickets now before it's too late, and also do not forget to check out the Weekly Whisper presented to you by Elian Habanero. All the best, and I'll see you at the event.